Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new series on the channel, and it's going to be my F1 2018 mod career mode with Sebastian Vettel here for the entire 2018 season. And I hope you guys look forward to this, and shout out to Chris for the mod on Race Department, available on the link down below in the description. But I made a few tweaks because I wanted to drive the Ferrari and I didn't want to drive the one in the mod. I wanted to drive my own, so I've gone for a custom Ferrari. In fact, I've actually gone for the original Ferrari in the 2017 game because in the mod it's actually a 2018 Williams. But if you guys are excited for this series, then drop a like on the video. And a small disclaimer, in this mod, the things you need to know are important. Is basically the AI have been tweaked to be a little bit faster, which makes it very competitive, and also they're a bit more aggressive when it comes to overtaking. So hopefully you'll see some of that in the race. But jumping straight to Saturday qualifying, because obviously no practice required as it is in Grand Prix mode, and straight away in qualifying in Q1, opting for the slower super soft compound tyres. And straight away I got a really good feel for the car, and the track felt really good, the car felt really good, the tyres felt really good, and we got top of the pile in Q1 on super soft tyres, quite surprisingly. Hamilton there, a whisker behind me on the same compound, and Raikkonen also in P6, my teammate. But jumping into Q2 though, we opted for the faster ultra softs, and straight away in the first sector I had a pretty poor one, only 7 tenths off the pace from Bottas, and then 8 tenths down in the middle sector. But then the final sector, which is my strongest sector, because I absolutely nailed this chicane, is where I actually claw back a lot of my time. And they're going through the final corner now, and we're going to run it up to the line. You'll see we actually had a really good final sector, because we managed to get within a quarter of a second of Bottas across the line pretty much, and go P2 at the time, and eventually end the session quite comfortably in the top 5 as you go P3 there, just ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, who was 1.1 off the pace. But now, jumping into Q3, we are going to go for 2 runs here. My first run was okay, a bit of a banker lap, not a spectacular lap by any means, and I definitely left some time on the table, especially in the third sector, so we're going to try and find that on our second attempt, and hopefully it works out for us. So here we go then, DRS wide open on the pit straight, and straight away for turn 1 you can use 4th or 5th gear. I'm going to go for 5th, I believe, on this lap, if I'm not mistaken, and really attack the apex and use all the track available to you. Open up the DRS through turn 2, and now flat all the way down to turn 3, brake hard, down into 3rd gear, use the end of the it's like the wall on the left hand side as a reference point, where it cuts in for a car so they can park in there as a reference point, and then flat out through the right hander of turn 5, nothing special here, and then braking hard for turn 6, down to 4th gear, attacking the curb, using all of the exit if you need to, and then going flat out through this swooping right hander here. And now basically looking for the brake point, 2nd meter board there, down to 3rd gear or 4th, depending on your preference, for this 90-degree right hander that feeds and opens up into a left hander on the throttle, and then along the curve back straight into the best 2 corners on the track, the chicane. Let's try and get this absolutely brilliantly, throwing the car in there, 7th gear action, hitting the apex beautifully, and the car working absolutely majestically through there as we go flat out on this back straight, braking hard now for the first of the final few corners in the 3rd sector here. 4th gear through here as we now drop it 1 more gear for this penultimate one. In this case I opt for 6th gear, and then braking hard to the penultimate corner, 3rd gear action, nice bit of apex, short shifting to 4th gear, and then try to keep it flat through the final corner if you're there, using all the curb on the left hand side. Open up the DRS, and that's going to be a lap of Albert Park. The question is, where is it going to put us in the grid? I think it's going to be P3, but we'll confirm it in a minute once we go to the race. But there you can see 3rd place for us, and a very successful Saturday qualifying session here at Albert Park. But now jumping into Sunday for the first race of the season, it's a Mercedes front row. Lewis Hamilton in 1st place ahead of Valtteri Bottas, and we get 3rd place, and we have Daniel Ricciardo alongside us in P4, with Kimi Raikkonen just behind us in P5. As you can see, the new music in the background and the new 2018 mod in full fruition here. But we're going to run you through the grid real quickly, and hope you guys do look forward to this race. But as you can see on the screen right now, as I just mentioned, Hamilton and Bottas 1st and 2nd. Then it's myself, Sebastian Vettel, alongside Daniel Ricciardo on the 2nd row. Kimi Raikkonen and Nico Hülkenberg take out the 3rd row, with Verstappen and Grosjean further behind. Then it's Magnussen and Perez running out the top 2, with Ocon and Sainz not too far behind them. Gasly and Hartley, and then Sorokin and Fernando Alonso, Leclerc and Van Dorn, and finally Lance Stroll and Marcus Ericsson. That is your grid for the 2018 Australian Grand Prix. So now, let's go into the race. Right, so here we are then on the grid for the Australian Grand Prix, the first race of the 2018 season, and a good qualifying yesterday, P3 as you would have seen, and overall I feel pretty confident going into this race, and I want to try and pull off a miracle and try and do what Sebastian did in real life in the real race just yesterday, so hopefully that works out for us. The race is just finished, and I'm recording this now just after the race, so let's see how this one pans out. We're starting from the exact same grid start, the only difference is Bottas is in the mix instead of Kimi Raikkonen, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm really curious to see how this car's going to perform. I do enjoy this sort of different, way of just different car I'm driving compared to career mode, and it makes a nice difference. Also, finally driving for Ferrari on this F1 game has been a long-awaited thing for me and also loads of you guys, and I'm glad I'm finally doing it. But in terms of this race here today, it's going to be pretty straightforward for us, and obviously strategy-wise, unlike in the real-life race, the tyre wear is a little bit more higher in this, and also with the mod, it comes with higher tyre wear scripted in. So basically, looking at the race strategy, no rain expected, but we are going to have to do a two-stop strategy, starting on the Ultras, which we qualified on, and then moving over to the Supers, and then using the Ultras, and also overfueled by one lap. So it's a pretty straightforward strategy. So we're going to jump straight into the race here for race number 1 for the 2018 season for the Australian Grand Prix. Right then, here we go then. We're going to get ready to the 5 red lights for round number 1. Lights out and away we go in Australia. It's a poor start from Bottas. It's a great start from us here as we get past the Finns straight away, coming over to the inside line to try and defend my position. Bottas trying to get back past me on my outside, but we just close him off and we hold on to second place. Hamilton leads the way, so right now it's pretty similar to real life. Hamilton trying to set the pace up front, but it's a good start from us, and now we're going to see if we can follow Lewis with his pace, and let's see if we can make anything happen this race. It's a 2-stop unlike the real life 1-stop, so we've got a bit more of a strategy chance here today, but let's see if we have the raw race pace to keep up with the Mercedes, who already has a 1.7 lead. So Hamilton really putting in the work early on here. Also, I'm hoping my tyres are nice and consistent with the wear and also lap time. But let's see how this race goes. I'm looking forward to it. Right, end of lap number 2, the first proper racing speed lap, should I say. 25.5 Hamilton with 4 tenths of drift. So right now, it's definitely Lewis setting the pace of this Grand Prix. At the minute, Lewis is just edging away here, and the lap time's consistent, but they need to be a little bit better, and unfortunately I just can't improve. Tyres are starting to fade, but Bottas isn't really attacking me either, so right now it's a bit of a stalemate in this top 3 battle. All we can do is hope for the pit stops to try and switch this race up a little bit. Okay, Valtteri Bottas has come in. That's a very early stop from the Mercedes driver, so that's going to mean it buys us some time, and we can now focus on what's ahead of us and not what's behind us. Okay, Lewis stays out for one more lap, so I'm going to follow him, and I'm going to come in at the end of this lap. So I'm going to go rich mix and push hard now. Right, here we go then into the pit lane, trying to push this as much as I can. A little bit of a lock up on the left front there, using up what's left of these tyres, and really pushing their pit entry here. Back end stepping out of me a little bit. Got to get it all slowed down to 60 though. So here we go, very nice pit entry there. Hamilton in the pit lane, and he's going to go over to the super soft. So we're going to follow him, go for the exact same time. A nice quick stop from the boys here, and it's a 2.8. Nothing spectacular, but it will have to do, and as you can see, we've got a few cars staying out a little bit longer here, and I'm going to guess one of them might be Valtteri Bottas, who might have undercut us. It's going to be close. Let's see where Valtteri is. He's going to be coming down the pit straight now, so I'm guessing he's the next car. No, he's not. It's Ocon. So Valtteri must have got stuck in traffic or something when he was doing his earlier stop. So the undercut for Valtteri hasn't really worked out. Mercedes trying to put me under pressure has sort of backfired. So we're on fresh tyres again. Hamilton's still in our sights. Let's see if maybe we've got the pace on Lewis on this tyre compared to the Ultra Soft. Verstappen and also looks like Grosjean in the pit lane, so those two squabbling out like in the real life Grand Prix, but here we are, these fresh tyres working very nice for us, and Lewis has got some great pace, but he's going to tackle some traffic now, which is good news for me, so this might allow us to catch up. Okay, Lewis definitely lost a bit of time trying to get past Magnussen, and now I've got to encounter the Dane, but I'm hoping he comes into the pit lane, and there we go, that's exactly what I wanted, and I get a free bit of DRS as well, so thank you, Kevin, and we're going to get released here into some clean air, and I think we're within 2 seconds of Lewis Hamilton here, so right now we're looking good, fast up at the Grand Prix. Let's see if we can get closer to Lewis. Lewis responds 24.9, that's a massive lap from the 4 times world champion. Oh, virtual safety car. Hulkenberg out of the Grand Prix. That's a good chance for us to save some fuel. But right now, I will say Lewis's pace is pretty incredible. He really is consistent. It's about a tenth and a half, I'd say, per lap. 2 tenths maybe. He's just faster than me, but he's consistently doing it, and I can't really keep up with him at the minute. But hopefully, towards the end of the stint and transitioning over to the Ultra Softs, if I'm within that window, then I'm definitely going to try and go for the undercut. So we'll see how this one pans out. I've got to say, there's a real beauty in the gaps at the minute. I've got to say, there's a real beauty in the gaps and the just the different strategies, because basically the Toro Rossos have caused trouble by starting on the harder compound. I mean, Brendan Hartley in 3rd place, and I think he's holding up a massive train of cars, but they're 20 seconds down the road. Me and Hamilton are just setting some incredible pace, and it's really interesting to see that midfield battle actually come to fruition in this mod, and everyone is so close. Oh, my teammate Raikkonen out of the race. Kimi Raikkonen out of the Australian Grand Prix. That's a big one for us, and that's very unfortunate for us as a constructor to lose them points, but I've got to fly the flag for Ferrari now, and Hamilton has really picked up the pace again. 3.6 the gap. If I'm going to undercut him, which is going to be around lap 20, then I might have to come in an extra lap earlier. Right, I'm going to come in this lap for my final stop of the race. I'm going to come in a little bit earlier, because if I want to have any chance of beating Lewis Hamilton, this is it. He's coming up to a lap car, and I'm going to have the undercut opportunity. And the later Hamilton pits, the better for me. So here we go into the pit lane, get it all slowed down, and there we go. That was absolutely perfect. All we can do now is a nice quick stop and run the rich mix and just floor it on our outlap. It's a 2.4, much better stop this time, 4 tenths faster than the last one. If Hamilton was to pit at the end of lap 21, that would give me the opportunity and the time that I need to try and make the undercut happen. I'm about 4.5 behind him on track, so let's see how this one works out. But we're going to be pushing from the get-go here. The second I clear this first corner, we're going to go straight into the rich mix. I don't care about the fastest lap, but I want to use the rich mix while I've got the fresh tyres. So let's get the hammer down, and no pun intended, let's try and catch Lewis Hamilton. Lewis in the pit lane onto the ultras. I've pushed really hard on my outlap. Lewis is exiting the pit lane now, just in front of us there, so we tried our best, but it wasn't to be. Purple middle and final sector, but Lewis is just too bloody quick around it, and he's too far ahead, so we tried our best. It wasn't to be, so let's just try and bring this one home in 2nd place, but I want to try and fight. Lewis has got a bit of traffic here. Oh, we got a yellow flag across the line. Someone's had a problem. I think it might be a puncture for whoever that is on the right-hand side, and it's Stoffel Van Dorn, so unfortunate one for him there. We do the fast lap of the Grand Prix, taking a big chunk out of turn 1, but if that was to trigger a safety car of VSC, we got half a chance here, but Hamilton right now is poised to win this one on that ultra soft tyre here. I'm trying my best, but I think Lewis has got too much in the tank. Lewis just lost a chunk of time encountering Stoffel Van Dorn here, who was recovering, and the gap is now down to 1.8, but I still think it's not going to happen. Unfortunately, he's got too much pace. At the minute, Lewis isn't actually pulling away. This time he's staying within my grasp, and the gap was 1.8, and I think it's sort of staying there at the minute. Yeah, it's 1.7, so it's not all over just yet. I wonder if Lewis maybe got a slight bit of damage in that Van Dorn issue. Right, we're coming on to a few lap cars. Yellow flag at turn 1. Hamilton's just lapped, I think, Alonso, so that's not going to be much resistance for him. And Alonso down in P15, not doing great for McLaren here, but plenty of blue flag situations at the minute, and it's all sort of in the balance. This is going to be the one chance we get to win this race, so let's see how this one pans out. Alonso weaves aggressively in the brake zone to try and get out of the way. Hamilton's been held up by Brendan Hartley here, and now I'm getting severely held up by both of these guys at the same time. Alonso leaving me in the minimal room, squeezing through the gap, very close through there, but I've definitely lost some time, and yellow flag behind. Hamilton now coming up to 2 lap cars who are battling, so that could be pretty interesting. We're going to try and get the power on and try and stay nice and close here. Hamilton really in trouble with these guys who are battling. I think it's a false India from what I can see. And Williams, I'm going to guess. I can't really tell properly, but they both get out of the way. At least one of them does, which is the Williams. Does the other car get out of the way? Yes, it does. Unfortunately for him, or for me, should I say, both cars get out of the way beautifully for him. So we're going to have to do this one the old-fashioned way and get past. So we've got Ericsson and Sirotkin very close, forcing through the gap there, but I don't think I can pull this one off. The lap cars didn't really help me, and the gaps pretty much stayed the same. Gap is 1 second. I'm in rich mix. I've got enough rich mix just for this lap, which I've been running from the start, and then it's going to be back down to standard. So this lap has to be perfect for me to get DRS on the last lap of the race. Okay, good news. We've got DRS. I've had to go down to standard to save a little bit of rich, because I also want to have this little bit of rich for now, the main straight and the second DRS zone, especially for when we attack Lewis Hamilton. Here we go, DRS wide open, going on to the last lap. A little bit of rich mix to try and close up the gap here, and I'm going to save up the last bit for the second straight. Here we go, we're within range. Make sure we get it all absolutely perfect into turn 1, attacking the apex there, and now rich mix enabled, DRS wide open. Are we going to get close enough here? I'm in the slipstream. I'm going to have a look, but just not enough confidence under braking. I'm going to stick with it though, because you never know what could happen. Turn 13 might be the other opportunity. Okay, we're very, very close here. In the slipstream in standard means you can see that Hamilton holds on perfectly fine. How are we going to cope with the dirty air? It's not going to be great, but we are going to be close enough. Last bit of rich mix. Here we go. This is going to be the last chance on the last lap. Can we get close enough here? Yes, we are. Up the inside on the brakes. It's very close. Minimal contact. Got to save the fuel, but we're going to be on the inside for the next corner. Hamilton on my outside. It's side-by-side action here. Coming to the final couple of corners. Have we got the grip around the outside to make it work? Yes, we have. Squaring the throttle on. And the inside of Hamilton, though, we've lost the back end. Hamilton gets DRS, and I think he's just going to nab it. Rich mix, come on into the line. It's going to be close, but Hamilton is going to take the win in Australia in dramatic fashion. What a conclusion that was. And we pushed Hamilton right to the very end of that race. We didn't have the pace overall, but thanks to the lap cars and overall persistency and consistency of the pace, we managed to make it work and stay right on the back of the four-time world champion. But Hamilton just takes it in Australia, and I think people would have much enjoyed that sort of conclusion to the Real Life Grand Prix. But either way, Ricciardo takes third place in Red Bull colours, and they'll be happy with that one. But overall, it's a shame to miss out just on a possible 25 points. But it's a good start to the season, and hopefully more races like that and battles to come very soon. But overall, a very, very good race, and Hamilton takes 25 points down under in Australia. But we're going to go home very happy. 18 points for me and also Ferrari as a team due to Raikkonen's retirement. But we're now going to move into the final race results, drivers and constructor standings. Right, so looking at the final race results, Lewis Hamilton wins the Australian Grand Prix. We come home in second place ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. Max Verstappen gets a really good P4 for Red Bull there. And Kevin Magnussen in P5, you know, you could argue that's the position he should have had in the Real Life Grand Prix if the issues hadn't occurred. Also, Bottas in P6 there. Disappointing race for him after starting from second place. Romain Grosjean also brilliant 7th place in the second Haas car. And then Sainz in P8. And Perez and Ocon get a couple of points for Force India there, with Gasly just missing out. Also, Leclerc in a brilliant 12th place there, and further down the order, Hulkenberg and Raikkonen DNF, with Van Dorn 3 laps down, disappointing for him. Also, Brendan Hartley as well, and Alonso only manages P15 there in the McLaren Honda, or sorry, the McLaren Renault now, but he definitely had the pace. I mean, if his fastest lap, he definitely had the pace to be a little bit higher up on the field there. But overall, that is it for the race results for the Australian Grand Prix, and that is going to be it for this first episode of the F1 2018 Mod Career Mode. And hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do leave a like on the video. Let's try and smash 250 likes for this episode. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here for plenty more F1 and MotoGP content. And other than that, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.